I believe Arsenal can win the league, and I'm going to show you how. We're going to take a look at Arsenal's fixtures versus Manchester City's remaining fixtures, and this is interesting. Based off these fixtures, in my opinion, Arsenal actually have a slightly better percentage of winning all their remaining games than Manchester City. Let me explain why. I'm recording this before the Fulham versus Arsenal game, but today Arsenal faces Fulham, and in my opinion, if Arsenal get past Fulham, we have one hand on that trophy. I'm going to explain why in detail. And on Monday, the 4th of May, Man City go away to Everton. And if you look at Everton, Everton are currently fighting for Europe right now. So they have something to fight for. So they actually put more effort in these games, knowing that they have a bigger reward that they're working towards. As well as Fulham. That's why I'm saying if Arsenal do win against Fulham, they have one hand on the trophy. But Fulham are also fighting for Europe, but they could get 7th or 6th place. By the end of the day, if Arsenal do defeat Fulham, Manchester City go and get the win or get the job done against Everton, that's good for both teams, because those teams will be tough to beat. They won't be easy. In fact, one of the two teams would actually slip up in these games. I mean, predicting Arsenal to win probably 2-1 against Fulham, and I'm thinking Man City will either win or draw against Everton. Okay, then we go on to the next match. Arsenal face West Ham, whilst Manchester City have to play Brentford. And again, Brentford is something to play for. They are very, very close to Europe. Currently in the table, they're at 9th position, so they're going to be another tough team to beat. Then also Manchester City have to play against Bournemouth, a team in very good form. They haven't lost a match by the time of recording this video in all their over 14 games. So Bournemouth are in very, very good form, and Manchester City have to play Bournemouth away. And currently on the table, Bournemouth are sitting on a European position. Those three games for me, Bournemouth, Brentford, and Everton, those are the three games that, in my opinion, could decide the title, who wins it. Because I don't think the league will end on goal difference. One team will slip up, and the most likely team to do that is Manchester City. I'm not saying like Manchester City are going to slip up, Arsenal will win the league. I'm not that deluded. I'm saying in terms of percentages, Arsenal have much better chance of winning all their remaining games by 1-0 or more. In Manchester City, have a slightly lower chance of winning all their remaining games, especially against Everton, Brentford, and Bournemouth. So this is how Arsenal win the league. Arsenal might make sure to win their game against Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, and Crystal Palace. They do not need to worry about goal difference, because I believe one of these teams will slip up anyways. So goal difference would mean that the only thing we have to focus on is getting the job done. When you look at Manchester City, between Everton, Brentford, and Bournemouth, that is when they will slip, in my opinion. They will get a draw somewhere or even a loss somewhere in those games, and that's where the league will be over, in my opinion. If, for example, Manchester City play Bournemouth and they draw, and Arsenal just win the remainder of their games, they win the league. If somehow Manchester City don't slip up and they win all their remaining games, they deserve to win the title. We have to be honest about that, because if they win against Everton, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, and Aston Villa, those are very tough games, especially the Bournemouth one. In my opinion, they deserve to win the league, because these teams will be fighting for Europe. They'll be giving all in this game.
Celebration. But the craziest one? Arsenal brought in over 250,000 fans just for an FA Cup parade in the same year, and that wasn't even a league title. So imagine the scale if Arsenal actually end their Premier League title drought this season. This wouldn't just be a normal celebration. It could turn into a massive event that practically shuts down the entire city because of the overwhelming passion of the fans.